Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Rashad again from the Black Guy's Guide to Movies. Just want to give a chance to explain my absence for a week and get right back on top of what I was doing. On August 26th, my wife gave birth to our daughter Nia at 8:40 in the morning. Love you, baby. But to my dedicated audience out there, all the fans, love you guys. Just wanted to say I'm back. She's healthy. But let's get right down to the next film I'm actually reviewing. The movie is actually called Arbitrage, starring Richard Gere. Now, I'll be the first to tell anybody that I'm not the biggest fan of Richard Gere. He kind of has the George Clooney effect. And that's not to say that he's not a good actor, but it's always Richard Gere playing Richard Gere. You know, the smug, wink kind of camera guy. Not in a Robert Downey Jr. cool kind of way, but more of an annoying kind of way, like this guy's just acting too cool and not really actually being the character. That being said, I want to give him a lot of credit. I think he kind of got hosed out of an Oscar on this one because he did such a phenomenal job. So let's get right down to the plot specifics. He plays a financial hedge fund manager by the name of Robert Miller, who's actually involved in the classic corporate greed. And what it means is that he's in charge of the company. His family, his daughter and his son work underneath him. And he has an opportunity to be bought out by a larger company, but he has to cook the books to do so. If this sounds familiar to you, you can clearly tell that his character was based a lot on Bernie Madoff and some of the financial meltdown things that happened in the recent 5 years. That being said, what made it so interesting was not so much as that they took a character that could have been so stereotypical, so bland, and he turned it into such a live, three-dimensional character, and it made you almost want to root for him to get away with it. Without giving you too many plot specifics, Susan Sarandon, who is kind of in an underutilized role in a way, plays his wife, who kind of goes along with the fact that this is my husband, the hedge fund manager. No, he's not really at home, but we have a marriage of convenience, so to speak. And what happens is it evolves into just not only corporate greed. It's enough that he's doing something kind of illegal. Not kind of, but financially illegal. But it's that he gets himself caught up in a criminal case. And it's how he actually divides his time between being a father, being the head of a company that's trying to be bought out, and at the same time trying to pass his criminal charges. I don't want to give away the plot specifics on this one, but let's just say he does a good job of covering his own ass. What was so amazing about Richard Gere's character in this film was the fact that he never got out of character, but at the same time, he never not wanted you to cheer for him. It's a weird way. It kind of reminds you in a Michael Douglas kind of way, where you cheer for the guy even though what he does is inherently wrong. He cheats on his wife. He cheats his investors. He cooks the books financially. He's dishonest to his daughter. He has no loyalty only to himself and the bottom line. But at the same time, he's trying to do the right thing in his mind. And what Richard Gere did that was so not Richard Gere-like was the fact that he straddled the line by being almost, he aged well. And he did it in a way where this was accumulation of a guy who matured from officer and a gentleman to actually make this character who a lot of people have no sympathy for because of what happened in the financial services industry. And he made him to where his motivations could almost be justified and how he actually would cover himself out. There's a beautiful scene that actually plays with one of the characters that's involved into his criminal, more severe criminal activities. And it just shows you that the body language and the line that I would describe to you was that he never broke mold of his character. And he specifically says about his money, what else is there? And it's the context of how that conversation took place, whether it was in the back of a limousine, whether it was a conversation with his wife, whether it was a conversation with his daughter. At the end of the day, he believed that his power triumphed over any rules, law, or context that took place. Yes, he thinks he's above the law, but he always thinks that his money can trump at anything. And the most amazing part about it is the fact that he may be right. And without giving away the ending, I think that the best thing that it did was it was a movie that knew when to stop. And what I mean by that is oftentimes the last 15 minutes of a really good film overshoots its aspirations or gets too ambitious, and it doesn't leave anything to chance. We've sucked ourselves into this belief in films that everything has to have a tightly woven, I'm satisfied because the prognosticator and the antagonist came to a set conclusion that we can all be satisfied with. When in reality in life, there are no good guys sometimes. There are no bad guys sometimes. And sometimes the bad guy gets the chance to be somebody that you don't want him to be. You know, it's almost like whether the crime was committed, and it was never solved. So it was a case of almost like a real ending, and you almost have to be yearning for more. But that's the true testament to a director who knew when to stop. And some people may not like it. I appreciate it. My wife hated it. This is my review of Arbitrage with Richard Gere. 4 do-rags. You guys definitely got to see it. I'm playing a little bit of catch-up here, so I'm going to bang a couple more of these boys out. Let me know what you think. Signing off.